Good afternoon, everybody. This is Steve Fletcher with a trumpet for my people. Today is May 14th, 2019. A cry was heard at midnight. The bridegroom comes, go out to meet him. This is the importance of the rebirth of Israel. On May 14th, 1948, declaring the state of Israel on May 14th, 1948, on May 14th, 1948, just ahead of the official end to the British mandate in Palestine at midnight, David Ben-Gurion declared the establishment of a Jewish state to be called Israel, May 14th, 1948. The declaration and the official document came out at midnight on May 14th. The midnight cry. As May 14th ends at midnight and May 15th begins, this is the day of the closing of the ark. The 10th of IYAR, May 15th, 2019. This is the importance of the midnight hour. It's at the end of the day on May 14th. It's at the very end of the day that the midnight cry comes, and at midnight on May 14th, 1948, the midnight cry came as Israel became a nation, and the clock began to count down the final 70 years. In 2019, we are at the end of the 70 years. The 71st year is over. The 70th year is over as the 71st year begins. They turned 71. The 70th year is coming to a close. At midnight, this is the day, on the 10th day of the second month, that it was said in Genesis 7:4, for yet 7 days I will cause it to rain on the earth 40 days and 40 nights. It was on the 17th day of the second month that the rain began to fall, May 22nd, 2019. As it is written in Genesis 7:11, in the 600th year of Noah's life, on the 17th day of the second month. On that day all the springs of the great deep burst forth, and the floodgates of the heaven were opened. On the 17th day of the second month. The midnight cry. The end of the fig tree generation. The 70 years expire on May 14th, 2019. 70 years are over. But it brings us to the midnight cry. As it is said in Matthew 25. Let's read together Matthew 25, 6 through 10. At midnight the cry rang out, here's the bridegroom. Come out to meet him. Then all the virgins woke up and trimmed their lamps. You see that the midnight cry, they had not come yet. He had not come yet. The midnight cry did not bring him exactly at midnight because the virgins still had time to rise up and trim their lamps. So it was not at the midnight cry that the bridegroom came. At midnight, the cry rang out, here's the bridegroom. Come out to meet him. Then all the virgins woke up and trimmed their lamps. The foolish one said to the wise, give us some of your oil, Our lamps are going out. No, they replied, there may not be enough for both of us and you. Instead, go to those who sell oil and buy some for yourselves. And while they went to buy, the bridegroom came. And they that were ready went in with him to the marriage, and the door was shut. So it was not exactly at the midnight cry. A midnight cry. A cry came at midnight. Right now we have the end of the fig tree generation. Midnight on May 14th. The same moment that Israel became a nation, on midnight. At midnight on May 14th. So at the end of May 14th, at midnight, a cry goes out. Come out to meet him, the bridegroom cometh. Has there ever been a more important midnight hour? A midnight hour that is within the rebirth of Israel on May 14th, 1948. At midnight, the declaration came for Israel to be declared an independent state. Genesis 7:16. And they that went in, male and female of all flesh, as God had commanded him, and the Lord shut him in. Matthew 25:10. And while they went to buy, the bridegroom came. And they that were ready went in with him to the marriage. And the door was shut. And the Lord shut him in. And the door was shut. The midnight cry. Are you ready for the return of Jesus Christ? The bridegroom comes. Go out to meet him. If this is the end of the fig tree generation, if this is the end of the 70 years, if this is the end of the timeline that brings us to the day that Noah entered the ark and the ark was shut, if this is the day of the final warning to great tribulation that will begin in 7 days, then we can know that this is the midnight cry. Go out to meet him. The bridegroom is coming. As it was in the days of Noah, a final 7-day warning to the beginning of the great tribulation. I pray you are blessed today. This is Steve Fletcher with the trumpet for my people, the sign of his coming revealed.